What's going on, everybody? This is your WOF Outlook and discussion for Wednesday, May 24th, 2023. And before we get into today's video, I hope everyone is doing well, remaining positive, and as always, staying blessed. All right, you guys, taking a look at the tropics this morning, you can see same old story as it has been. Dry air is the ruler of the game here across the Eastern Pacific. As we head here across the Gulf of Mexico, you can see we have a stationary frontal boundary here hanging out across the northern Gulf of Mexico. Other than that, dry air. No development is expected here across the Caribbean, heading in towards the central Atlantic. Southwesterly shear and dry air rules the game there. No development. We still will have the potential here for some development off the southeast coast here, off of the east coast of Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas as we go towards the end of this week into the first half of the weekend, you guys. So if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe here at your Weather on the Fly so you can stay up to date and weather aware. As the National Hurricane Center and Storm Prediction Center comes out with the updates, I have them posted here right in my community section, right on the fly for you guys so you can stay up to date. Now, before we get into the lower 48 weather, you guys, yet again, I want to take our attention to the Western Pacific here as we have the Super Typhoon. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name, you guys. I'll leave that up to you guys. I'll have it in the title of the video, you guys. But as you can see, we thought that this system was going to make a direct hit, like come directly over Guam here, but actually the storm did an Iowa replacement cycle yesterday, and actually when the center actually went just to the north of Guam, so that was good news for them. Still, they got pretty much hammered here with this system, but the main core of the system did go to the north of Guam, which is good news. And as this system continues to trek here across the Western Pacific throughout the next 5 days, you guys, we're going to take a look at the forecast path. And as you can see, the center is just to the north of Guam, went just to the north and then winds 120 knots, about a 135 category 4 hurricane, you guys, equivalent to a category 4 Atlantic hurricane. And as you can see, this storm will continue its journey off to the west northwest, eventually starting to take a northwest turn here. And as you can see, the next islands that could be up for possible landfall and impact will be parts of the Philippines here and even Taiwan. So we will definitely keep a close eye on this typhoon as it continues to track west northwest here across the Western Pacific, you guys. And now, as we was taking a look at that southeast, as I was telling you guys about the low pressure area that could possibly form off the southeast coast here, the National Hurricane Center has not mentioned it in their discussions as of yet, you guys. But as we take a look here, courtesy of Tropical Tibbets, this is the latest GFS model run that was early this morning, you guys. And as we continue to move this on out, you can see the area of disturbed weather that's here across the Eastern Gulf and over Florida that's been hanging around with that stall frontal boundary. That's going to be the focal point that could possibly get this system going here. As you can see, by tomorrow afternoon, may have low pressure here across the southern Florida's peninsula. But as we go into Thursday night, into Friday, you can see this starts to curl up even more. Not that much, not too defined, but it may be just enough of a low pressure center and just enough organization that close enough to hurricane season, the National Hurricane Center will mention this, and I will not be surprised if they go ahead and give it the name Arlene sometime Friday, you guys. And as you can see, as it continues to spin here, off the southeast coast, heading towards the South Carolina Georgia border sometime around Saturday morning, you guys. Nothing too strong, as you can see. If anything, it's probably going to be at most a weak 40, 45 mile per hour tropical storm. If it do surprise you, you may get a 50, 60 mile per hour, but at best right now, I'm just expecting probably a low end tropical storm heading into the South Carolina coastline here sometime Saturday afternoon. And you guys, as we take a look at the European, not much different than the GFS. As you can see, by the time we go into tomorrow, see all kind of mess here across the Florida Peninsula and the southeast and off the southeast coast here. And as we go on through Thursday night into Friday, you can see the European is a lot more messier with the low pressure. It's not as organized and as defined here as we get into, excuse me, you guys, I didn't want to click on that. Even as we start to get into Saturday morning here, that's when the European starts to try to make this system some type of tropical system, but it is not. Is defined as the GFS. So this is something that we will continue to watch here, but I will not be surprised if the National Hurricane Center does decide to name this Arlene here sometime Friday or Saturday, you guys. So we will continue to keep an eye on this as each day goes by here at your Weather on the Fly. All right, you guys, as we now take it to the lower 48 here, going to take our quick 10-second intermission while I get this off so we can get into today's convective outlook. All right. All right, you guys. And as you can see, the Storm Prediction Center is going to be quite busy here today as we have a marginal risk of severe weather that extends from parts of east central Montana on down into parts of Idaho, extreme northwest Wyoming, getting into parts of northwest Utah and extreme northeast Nevada here. We will have another risk, a marginal risk of severe weather here across parts of the central and southern Florida's peninsula with that stalled out frontal boundary there. And we also across the southern high plains here. Look across parts of eastern New Mexico, West Texas, up into the West Texas Panhandle, extreme southern and southeast Colorado here. We have a slight risk of severe weather, which does include yet again Midland, Lubbock, Amarillo, extending on up into parts of Trinidad and Colorado, Delhart, along the Texas Panhandle, you guys, Hobbs, you guys, all these areas just to the east of Alpine, Texas, you guys, the slight risk will be here. Abilene is under a marginal risk for severe weather, you guys. Let's check the probability and see what these storms will possibly be doing here later on today. As you can see, the tornado threat, you guys, we have a 2% chance here across the parts of extreme West Texas, eastern New Mexico, and extreme southern Colorado. So we will be looking for a few spin ups possibly here today, you guys. Hail probability across parts of Montana, Idaho, Nevada, Utah. We will have a 5% chance of hail pushing 1 to 1.5 inch in diameter. Same here across parts of the southern Florida's peninsula, and a 15% chance of that hail pushing 1 to 1.5 inch in diameter across the slight risk across West Texas and eastern New Mexico, and a 5% chance across the marginal risk in that area. Wind probability, 5% chance across parts of the Northwest here and the Florida's peninsula for those winds 55 to 60, gusting to 70. Here across parts of the Texas Panhandle, eastern New Mexico, those winds could possibly be even as high, gusting as high as 80 miles per hour here today, you guys. So we will definitely be on the lookout for some strong, damaging winds here across parts of the Texas Panhandle and eastern New Mexico. No significant tornadoes are expected, you guys. That's always a blessing. We do have a hatched area for significant hail, which does include extreme West Texas and eastern New Mexico. Hail could be pushing 2 to 3 inches in diameter. That is some very dangerous hail, you guys. So please be weather aware and on the lookout if you stay in parts of West Texas and eastern New Mexico today. No significant wind, you guys. That is good news. Now, as we pull up the HRRR to see just how these storms are going to materialize throughout the next 48 hours. And as we start here at 12 p.m. today, you guys, you can already see we're going to have some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder here across parts of the northeast today. We have clusters of showers, thunderstorms starting to pop up across the marginal risk here across the northwest United States. Nothing going on yet across Texas, so that is good news, you guys. But we will have some showers and thunderstorms starting to pop here across parts of Florida, you guys, the Florida Peninsula, as we head to the noon hour. We go to 4 p.m. today, you guys. You can see, look here across the northwest and western United States. These cells are starting to pop here, so we will be on the lookout for some showers and thunderstorms. Maybe a few flooding downpours could be possible. Look here across parts of eastern New Mexico, northeast New Mexico here, you guys. These cells could be producing all hazards around 4 p.m. Look at the increase in showers and thunderstorms across the Florida's peninsula. Some strong locally damaging wind gusts and some hail will be possible. Look here across the northeast, some heavy rains could be ongoing. We will be on the lookout in that area. As we go on 8, 9, 10 in the evening, you guys. Look here across parts of the Texas Panhandle and West Texas. Look at these heavy sails around 8 to 10 this evening. All hazards will be possible. Even a few spin-ups will be possible here across parts of the Texas Panhandle. Look here across parts of northern Montana, you guys. Hail and damaging winds will be a possibility across east central Montana. Look at the showers and thunderstorms across the Florida Peninsula. They're going to be starting to die out here as we head into the evening and overnight hours. The showers and thunderstorms are starting to head out here across parts of the Northeast as we head into the overnight hours. As we starting to approach here, going on Thursday morning, look at this cluster here of showers and thunderstorms heading out of northwest Texas, heading into west central Texas, you guys. We'll definitely be on the lookout for some flooding rains here as we head into the overnight hours, possibly. Look here, a cluster of showers, maybe a rumble of thunder across parts of west Kansas, you guys. Even here out over the eastern Gulf of Mexico and just off Florida's east coast, we will have that activity there with that stalled out funnel boundary. As we head to 7 a.m., which does segue us to Convective Outlook Day 2, you guys. The Storm Prediction Center does have a marginal risk here yet again for the southern high plains. It's just repeating the same cycle here, you guys, across West Texas, eastern New Mexico, heading into parts of eastern Colorado. As we check the probability here, 2% chance of a spin up of tornadoes will be possible on Thursday, you guys, for this same area as today. 5% chance of that hail pushing 1 to 1.5 inch in diameter. And the winds, 5% chance of those winds of 50 to 60 miles per hour, gusting as high as 70, maybe even 80 miles per hour in this area, you guys. No significant tornadoes, no significant hail, or no significant wind at this time for that area. So as we continue to move the HRRR out, about the noontime tomorrow, you guys, on Thursday, you can see yet again we're going to have our showers and thunderstorms across parts of the southern Florida's peninsula, the Miami area. Look at all the showers and thunderstorms that's going to be on the east coast of Florida around the Bahamas area. That could be the catalyst starting that system, that low pressure area that could form here off the Carolinas. Thursday into Friday, you guys, and look at the showers and thunderstorm. A cluster of showers and thunderstorms across parts of central Kansas is extending down south into parts of central Oklahoma, you guys. Oklahoma City is for the noon hour tomorrow. As we head to 5 p.m. late afternoon on Thursday, let's see, as we get this to load, you guys. All right, you can see we're going to have showers and thunderstorms cluttered around the northwestern United States here. Even a marginal risk. I just see this here, you guys. A marginal risk here across parts of Washington and Oregon here, you guys. But other than that, here we go. Showers and thunderstorms are starting to pop here across parts of eastern New Mexico, eastern Colorado, and even parts of western Texas, you guys, and also along the southern Florida's peninsula around the Miami, Tampa Bay area. Thunderstorms will be increasing here. And you guys, let me see on day 2, convective outlook day 2. You guys, I'm so sorry about that. That is not actually a marginal risk here across parts of Washington and Oregon, you guys. That is just a regular general thunderstorm risk. So sorry about that, you guys. But as we continue on to the evening hours on Thursday, heading into the nighttime, look at this heavy cluster of showers and thunderstorms in eastern Montana. Heavy rain could be ongoing with some flooding. We will be on the lookout. All hazards here across parts of the southern high plains as we head into the overnight hours on Thursday. Look at all this rain across parts of the Florida Peninsula and off the east coast of Florida out over the Atlantic. As we go as far as the HRRR take us out, which will be 7 a.m. on Friday. All right, as we get this to load, you guys. All right, you can see, look at all the rain that starts to that's just off the South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia coastline here as that low pressure starts to come together. We'll see if the National Hurricane Center does tag it later on today or possibly early tomorrow morning. But other than that, that low pressure does seems like it's most likely we're going to have a low pressure form, but does it become tropical? Is it remains to be seen, you guys. Here we're going to have some showers and thunderstorms, maybe rumbling here across parts of west Oklahoma, extending northward into parts of Kansas, and even southern Nebraska here as we head into Friday morning. And as that does segue us into convective outlook day 3, You can see we do have a marginal risk here all the way from Mexico up to the Canadian border. So we will be definitely be on the lookout. When is that? Friday, you guys. This is Friday from as again from the Canadian border all the way down to Mexico here in West Texas. We will have a chance for some severe weather. So you guys, if you haven't done so already, yet again, be sure to share, like, and subscribe so you can stay up to date and weather aware. We will also come back here and take a look at this super typhoon that's in the Western Pacific tomorrow morning to see what that is doing. Everyone be safe, be careful. That's going to be it for this one, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.